The 917th edition of the MMA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Underdog's got a brand new offer for new customers. Play just $5 and get $50 in bonus funds when you sign up with promo code MMA SGPN.
Heidi ho, degenerinos, welcome to episode 917 of the MMA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, dedicated to an old friend, Crunch of Crunch Analytics, who disappeared from the Discord, but he has returned. So it's good to see. He was the man that was, I've kept trying to remember who used to keep track of the Diani tallies for us, and that it was Crunch. So I'm kind of glad Crunch is not doing it this year, because I think Yanni's doing okay this season.
He's definitely doing well with the totals, the highers and the lowers.
Right. That's his specialty.
Yeah, he's doing pretty good on those.
That would be Dan. You got me reeling. I am Mr. Pimp. Remember, all caps. You can call me Jeff Fox as well, but I prefer Mr. Pimp. And we were covering PFL, back-to-back PFL episodes. You sickos will love this for sure. Yesterday was PFL Europe. Today is PFL MENA, which is Middle East, Northern Africa. It's week 3 of that season, just like in Europe, and it's the semifinals, just like in Europe as well. What was how can you watch it? You can watch it on YouTube in the States for MENA. YouTube or the app, right? And then in Canada, it says DAZN. So yeah, good luck with that one. So it's PFL MENA 3, and it's going down on Saturday. So we got PFL Friday, PFL Saturday. Any thoughts on this fight card, Gumby, before we dive into it?
Pretty deep. I think everybody's like fun in kind of their own way. Even the guys who I'm not picking to win, there's like plenty of them in there where I'm like, yeah, but if they had like a better matchup, this would, be good for them. They're quality fighters.
Good to hear. Before we dive into it, another quality thing is our app, the SGPN app. It's in the App Store. It's free, and you get easy access to all our free picks and props. So check out the SGPN app in the App Store. And that's over to Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Maybe it's Riyadh season.
It might be Riyadh season.
Could be. It's going down on Saturday. That would be 12 noon Eastern for us people in the Eastern time zone. And it's in the Green Halls in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, in case you want to go visit and watch the event. We got 12 fights. We're going to break down the 5 that Gumby has chosen for us. And then we got lightning round, which Gumby is on a hot streak on. So don't you click off until you get all of the picks at the very end of the episode as well. All right. We have got, as I said, it's tournament time. They have got welterweights. They have got bantamweights. They have got lightweights. They have got featherweights. They've got all the weights going down here. We're starting things off with a welterweight fight, right? Yes. Badreddine Diani is one half of the fight. He's from Morocco. We've got Amir Fazli on the other side. He is from Iran, and it's breaking down. No odds as of this recording, but PFL odds are pretty easy to find. So definitely check out mybookie.ag for them first. All right, the Prince, Fazli, the Iranian, is 7-3, 5 knockouts, 1 submission. He's been submitted once. He's 1-2 in PFL. So he's won 1 of 3 and 5 of 7. TKO win in his last bout, though. That's what got him to the semifinals. This is a rematch. It didn't go past me. I know.
I didn't sneak one by you.
Nope. He lost to Diani in July of 2024. So I believe that was last season of MENA that he lost to him. He's regional champ. He's fed at 185. He's an inch taller than Diani. Diani, Dream Chaser, 9-3, 2 knockouts, 2 submissions. He's been knocked out twice. 2-0 in PFL. He's won 3 straight and 5 of 6. He's not lost since August 2023. He's a regional champ. He's 8 years younger than Fazli. He's got 3-inch reach advantage over him.
Yeah, Diani. I'm not gonna. I could give you a breakdown of all the little things they do and the things that I like, but like, if you watch the last fight, there's no way 2 fights later you can look at it and be like, I can kind of see a path for Fazli here. You know what I mean? Like, it is terrible as it sounds. Like, this is a fight that should not have been a rematch this fast. I granted you're right. It was the last season of MENA. Maybe something changes in a year. There's not enough change in Fazli. I don't think that he just couldn't get Diani off of him is the problem. And to go from being absolutely suffocated by a guy both on the ground against the cage, just like out pressured on every turn. How do you then turn that around and like make it your fight? You know what I mean? Unless like he developed all kinds of submission games or some sweeps he never had, or he's found somewhere 5 extra years of wrestling defense. But like, it's just not enough time for me to truly believe Fazli's going to turn it around. And I have to imagine the books are going to be, you know, who would not install Diani as a 500 favorite here, right? Like he's got to be massive. And you know, again, I actually like Fazli. I think that last fight he showed like some really good stuff, but it's not stuff that seems like it would work against Diani, right? Like it's just not. He has not changed enough since then that I think, you know, a suffocating fighter isn't just going to absolutely suffocate him again. So yeah, I'm going to take Badreddine, Diani. I think this is one-way traffic for as long as it lasts.
Righty, there we go. No fun, but that's okay. Hopefully we get some dogs moving on up. We're going to bantamweight next. Moktar Benkaci, he is from France. Nawras Abzakh, he is from Jordan. 3 5-minute rounds, 135. I'll tell you about the guy from Jordan first. He is the honey badger. So apparently there's honey badgers in Jordan as well. There's honey badgers everywhere, at least in the MMA world there is. He's 13 with 1 no contest, 2 knockouts, 7 submissions. He's been knocked out 3 times. 1-1 in PFL, loss win over his last 4, 5-2 over his last 7, won his last bout via TKO. Multiple regional championships on his
mantle.
Correct. Get our shirt, get our merch, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store. Use fight at 125, 2014 Pro MMA debut, an inch taller than Benkaci. Benkaci is Le Kabyle. I think it's a language, Algerian dialect, I think.
Sure.
It's that works, right? He's
Sure.
with 2 no contests, 13 knockouts, 8 submissions. He has never been finished. That means he's very durable. That's 36 fights. He's 1-2 with 1 no contest in PFL. He's won 5 straight, though, and 5 of 7. Past 5 wins, all via finish. He's not lost since September 2023. Regional champ. He's fought at 145, 2010 Pro MMA debut.
So I think Benkaci is going to be the favorite here, probably high 100s, like 190 or something like that. And this might be one of the closest lines that we get that we're going to talk about today. I think we're going to see a lot of really wide lines on this fight card. So this will probably be one of the more playable lines because, you know, Abzakh has looked good in fights. You know, if this isn't thrown it or spoiled it already, I'm taking Benkaci as a favorite. Abzakh has looked good in fights. Like if you watch the early parts of his fight with Ali Taleb, and you know, Ali Taleb is nasty, right? Like that's a really tough out. You know, he got Taleb down early. Granted, he shot from way too far away, but like his resolve just like kept him in on that takedown, and he wound up getting there. You know, he kind of hung with Taleb long enough in that fight that made you think like, oh, you know, this guy's tough. This guy's a hard out. But like it seems like that's his only path to victory here against Benkaci is like he's got to lay on him for 15 minutes. Because on the feet, the speed difference is just going to be like night and day in this one. Benkaci's so much faster. You know, and I think too, my biggest issue for thinking of that Abzakh can't do that is just like the footwork of Benkaci is really nice. Like he's got that lead foot, especially when he's opposite stance, which if I'm remembering correctly, these two will be opposite stances. He does a really good job of keeping his front foot on the outside of yours, which does make it harder for a wrestler to shoot on you. Like it's a really good way to circle and land counters, but it's also a really good way to keep wrestlers off of you. And, you know, I think Benkaci does that exceptionally well. He pressures without necessarily getting in your kitchen. You know, as I mentioned, the speed seems easy for him. You know, it's just like, almost looks like he's not even putting full effort into his hands, and he hits you like 3 or 4 times. And I think for Abzakh, like he's struggled with strikers before, and like I said, he really needs to make this an ugly fight and drag it to the mat. I don't think he can do that enough against Benkaci. And so like the longer Benkaci's allowed to strike with him, I think the more likely he gets a knockout. So, you know, would you say 13 knockouts in his career for Benkaci?
I believe so.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, like. And the crazy thing is too, is like, yes, he does have that like one touch knockout power, which obviously makes him a threat no matter what, but it also like, he doesn't wind up and use it every single time, which means like, even if he fights a wrestler here, like Abzakh, he's not going to find himself tired from having thrown so many punches because like the speed comes to him easy and he doesn't put everything behind him. And then like he puts everything behind it when he needs it. So like, I really like the intelligence of Benkaci, the footwork, the speed. And like when you have that many things, you know, sort of up against each other, I think that's too much for Abzakh. So I'll take Benkaci here, hopefully under -200.
All right. Benkaci is the pick. Let's tell you about MyBookie. We are brought to you by MyBookie.ag. MyBookie is your place to bet on football and everything else. Their popularity is second to none. Their motto is bet on anything, anywhere, anytime. Easy deposit and lightning fast payouts using crypto. They will have PFL lines there, so check it out when they drop. And when you do head to MyBookie.ag, sign up with our promo code MMASGPN, then you get 100% bet back bonus up to $500 for new customers. So MyBookie.ag, promo code MMASGPN. And No Vig, we're brought to you by No Vig, Novig. No Vig is America's #1 sports prediction market. Since No Vig is an exchange, you know you're getting some of the best prices in the market. No Vig is available in 35 plus states. Download the No Vig app and get $50 when you spend $5 if you use our promo code SGPN. Get in on the action with No Vig, promo code SGPN. All right, what weight class are we moving on to next? We're going to featherweight now. Islam Reda. He is from Egypt. We're getting every country in that region represented on this card. He's fighting Taha Bendaoud. He is from Morocco. So they're fighting at 145, like I said. Let's break it down. The Moroccan is Atlas Lion. So we have the Egyptian Zombie versus Atlas Lion. Some quality nicknames here. Atlas Lion is 5-0 with 3 submissions. He's 2-0 in PFL. Won his last bout via submission. Used to fight at 135. He's 2 years younger than Reda. He's an inch taller. The Egyptian Zombie, Reda, is 13-1, 1 knockout, 8 submissions. He's never been finished in a fight. He's 3-0 in PFL. He's won 7 straight. TKO win in his last bout. He's not lost since December 2018. Used to fight at 155 and 170. 2013 pro MMA debut. 0-1 as a pro grappler.
Yeah, so this is another one where I'm like, I kind of like the guy who's going to come in here as the underdog if he was fighting almost anybody else.
Yeah.
So, no offense to Taha Bendaoud, but he's going to be like a probably plus 275, like 300, 315, 325 for Reda or something like that. And I'm going to take Reda. Like I said, Bendaoud, he's like the type of fighter I like in a lot of these circumstances. He's like super Gumby, like wicked good off of his back, fun submissions. Yeah, he's got like lots of stuff that I really enjoy watching, right? Like triangles off of his back and like flexible moves. And, I think I watched him try to put in a buggy choke one time. And I was like, oh, this guy's like fun as hell. Like, what a fun guy to watch fight. And like, it just seems like it's the worst matchup for Reda because Reda, on one hand, they call him the Egyptian Zombie. And some of that is because he fights with his hands really low and eats a lot of punches. So if you were like, oh, he's up against the power puncher, up against the guy who sits into his punches, you might pick against him here. Bendaoud is like not that guy. And then like Reda has got like really, really crafty wrestling, like really fun chain wrestling. He gets in on a takedown. If it gets stuffed one way, he flips him the other way. And, he does a really good job of cutting angles. So he doesn't even really need the cage to take you down, which also is going to make that safer against the guy who's got really bendy legs and uses the cage wisely, as he's looking for submissions. And again, like if Bendaoud was just up against a wrestler who like wasn't so crafty or wasn't so good at positioning or wasn't so good at making sure that, he was basically safe from submissions, I might think, like he's just going to sub this wrestler. And instead you've got like just like a very jit savvy wrestler in Reda, which I think is just like a nightmare for Bendaoud. And in like all the fights I've watched from Taha Bendaoud too, anytime he gets taken down, there's no urgency. There's no willingness to get up, right? Like, because he likes it down there. Like, that's his style of game. And he's not much of a wrestler. So, like, he's not bringing it there himself. So, like, here we are, like, being like, he's so fun on the mat and so good at jiu-jitsu. And like, if he was fighting anybody who I thought he could sub, I might say, hey, throw your pizza money on a guy who can pick up a sub on a bad shot. But Reda is just like, I really love the technique behind his shots. I love the angles he cuts. I love the ability to take somebody down in small spaces, without the traditional double leg or the traditional inside trip. Like he doesn't necessarily go to like all of the takedowns you typically think of. And I think for that reason, like, I just don't expect Bendaoud to be able to find a neck or find an arm bar. So I'm going to go Islam Reda again, probably favorite, which is sort of the theme of what we're talking about today. But I'm still going to pick him.
You got to pick him how you see him, whether they're dogs or not. But hey, maybe Gumby will be surprised. You never know when the lines drop. All right, co-main event is a lightweight semifinal bout. Mohsen Mohammadseifi, he is from Iran. Mohammed Fahmi, he is from Iraq. 3 5-minute rounds. lightweight. Let's break her down. Telling you about Fahmi first. Soul Keeper, 3-0 with 2 submissions. He's 1-0 in PFL. Submission win in his last bout. Used to fight at 170. 6 years younger than Mohammadseifi, 2 inches taller, 9-inch reach advantage, if the info online is correct. Mohammadseifi is the golden boy, 8-2 with 4 knockouts. He's been knocked out once, submitted once. 4-0 in PFL. He's the 2024 champion of PFL MENA. 8 straight wins. He's not lost since June 2019. Why is Fahmi here? He's barely fought. Is he?
Yeah.
Does he have a record in another discipline?
So if I'm remembering correctly, no, never mind. That's the next fight. Galal is the one who lost and is somehow in the semifinals anyway.
No, he won. He won. I just wondered how he got this chance.
I'm talking about Galal. We'll talk about Galal in the next fight. He's the one who lost and is in the semifinals anyway. No, I mean, like, Fahmi does have more fights, if I'm not mistaken. They're just record ineligible ones. I think he's like 6-0 actually. They'll probably announce him as 6-0 because they don't always listen to Tapology and embrace his fights. Yep. He's fun jiu-jitsu wise, right? Like he's got good headlock positions. He actually has a pretty decent takedown. I like his offensive wrestling a lot more than I like his defensive wrestling, or more than I like his pressure. Like once he's on the ground, he's crafty with jiu-jitsu, but sometimes he like forgets like, hey, if I just put my weight down, I wouldn't have to use all this crafty back take stuff. Or I wouldn't have to like dig for a, Doris choke right now. Instead, he would just be flat and I would be dropping punches. So that little piece, that little touch right there, I think could possibly cost him. And then, for Mohammadseifi, this dude is, what's the best way to describe? This dude's a muscle hamster. You know what I mean? Like he's just one of those guys. Yeah, he's like short to the ground. I mean, you mentioned like a 9-inch reach advantage. When you said it, I'm like, I'm not sure if that's right. No, it's right. Like this guy he's a box, and he swings so heavily on the feet. He's way off balance half the time. I watched him plow. Was it his last fight? He plowed a double leg takedown and they just like kept rolling afterwards because he hit him with such force that they just rolled completely through him. Both of them wound back up on their feet afterwards. Like after doing it was like a cartoon. You watch them go into a somersault 3 times and then they both just stand up. It's like Peter Griffin fighting the chicken. But like on the other side of things, like despite Mohammadseifi being like absolutely out of control 98% of the time in his fight, he's just like so dangerous. And like for a guy who does that, somehow his cardio is good. Like somehow in the 3rd round, he can still be there. Sometimes late in the fight, you're like, how could this guy ever have any power left? And then he hits you with something and you're like, damn, he's still just as dangerous as he was in the first. And, like I said, with Fahmi, like his best part of his game is wrestling in top control. This dude is so stocky, short to the ground, powerful, explosive, like he's like a hyper athlete. I just don't see the wrestling game of Fahmi working. And if it does, he's going to do some like Derek Lewis shit and like just get himself back up, because that's the type of fighter. I know it's lightweight. I know we're talking about like 110 pounds of difference, but like he really is just like somebody who like defines every stereotype that you think of. Like you're like, he's super muscly. He'll tire out. He doesn't tire out. He's really short. Expect him to be like, controlled and compact. No, he's not controlled and compact. He's wild as hell. Like he's just like, he's one of those guys who like, you can't stop watching him fight. He will be insanely frustrating if you have a bet in on him, and he will probably still win it anyway. And that's where I landed on this one. Like as fun as Fahmi is with his, he's got like a front headlock game that's really fun. Doris chokes, anacondas, Bravo chokes. All of that stuff's very fun. I just like he's not going to get it on Mohammadseifi, and Mohammadseifi is still going to be there 15 minutes into the fight, and he's still going to be dangerous. So I'll take Mohammadseifi. I don't think I said a number before, but probably high 200s, low 300s.
People seem to like sweating out bats, so I guess
if you like getting sweaty, get in on Mohammadseifi. If you like,
I don't get it myself.
If you like,
I prefer just to win easily.
Also, okay. I just want to repeat: if you like getting sweaty, yes. All right, there we go.
All right. If you like getting sweaty, what was the last part of that? If you like getting sweaty,
get in with Mohammadseifi. Yeah.
All right. Get in. Okay, that might be too long of a title, but that's
just if you like getting sweaty. If you like getting sweaty.
I know, but the second part makes it even better. Anyhow, we shall see. You people have already seen it. It's already been published. All right, we'll get to the main event after I tell you about Underdog and Fantasy. Underdog is a great place to play fantasy. Pick 'em. You can win up to 500 times your entry. Simply pick higher or lower on your favorite player stats. Available for a ton of sports. Gumby's probably got to play for you, I bet. Today's Monday, so who knows what sport he could be picking for you.
Oh, we're going Atlanta. Monday. The Braves don't have very many.
Braves. I thought you meant the Falcons.
We don't have very many games left because we're not going to the playoffs. Actually, they're still not mathematically eliminated at the moment. They could go on a run. We could still get them in there. But yeah, Chris Sale's on the mound against the Nationals. Nationals love to strike out. Chris Sale, fanning everybody. I'll tell you, I'm gonna go. I'd even go alternative projection in there. They got him projected last I looked at 8.5. I'll say he gets 10. How about that? Chris Sale, strikeouts on Monday. You heard it here first.
10. Ay. All right. Underdog's got a brand new offer for new customers. Play just $5 and get $50 of bonus funds when you sign up with our code and only our code, MMA SGPN. And Rhythm, RITHMM. And Rhythm is off to a great start in college football and the NFL. Rhythm has introduced a leaderboard with weekly cash prizes just for tracking your bets in the app. Track 5 bets of the same type from any model you can build, and you can win $1,000. Not up to, you could win $1,000. Gumby, do you have another play for us? Every ad, I make Gumby do a play.
Yeah, of course, we're gonna hit you with one. I'm gonna take the over on Zay Flowers' receptions on Monday Night Football. This is going to be an absolute shootout between them and the Lions. It's probably going to be 40 on either side by the time we're done with this. And Zay Flowers has been an absolute target monster for them. He's had over 10 targets in both of the two games so far. And right now they got him looking for 6.5 right now on his reception. So he's going to pull down 7. Give me 7 receptions for Zay Flowers.
Okay, go check if Rhythm agrees with Gumby. You can use our promo code SGPN25 when you download the Rhythm app as RITHMM, and you get 25% off your first month. So download Rhythm and use our promo code SGPN25 for 25% off. All right, Gumby knows his football. He told you that. Main event. It is the other half of the welterweight semifinal bout. Mohammed Alaqraa. He is from Kuwait. See, I told you, pretty much every country in that part of the world is being covered on this event. He's fighting Ayman Galal. He is from Egypt. 3 5-minute rounds, 170. Tell you about the Egyptian first. Galal, he is the maestro. 4-1 with 2 no contests. 2 knockouts, 1 submission. He's been knocked out once. His no contest came in PFL, his only PFL fight. He's gone 2-0, 2 no contests over his last 4 fights. That takes talent. No contest came from his last bout as well. Lost about December 2022. He's fought at 161 pounds, 3 inches taller than Alaqraa. Alaqraa is 8-1, 2 knockouts, 1 submission. He's been knocked out once. 3-1 in PFL. He won his last bout. He's 7 years younger than Galal. 3-inch reach advantage over him.
Yeah, so Galal actually lost his last fight. Now his opponent popped for steroids and was pulled for the tournament. So we get Galal back in here against the guy. Did Alaqraa win the last season? Am I remembering that right?
No.
He was in the finals, and he lost to a guy he had already beat, if I'm not mistaken.
He lost to Omar El Dafre.
Yeah, and he had beaten him earlier in the season, and Dafre got back into the tournament somehow and took the
he beat him in UAE Warriors. But
yes, that's what it was. I knew it was a rematch. So Alaqraa, I have to imagine is going to be like, this is going to be one of those absurd numbers like -800, and I'm going to go a favorite again. And you know me, I hate going 5 favorites in a row. I'm an underdog kind of guy, but I just could not get around to finding an underdog on these 5 fights that we broke down. And like, look, Galal, kind of plotting. His kicks are fun. He seems to be like very flexible on his kicks. But like, what are 2 things you don't want to be against a really great wrestler? Stationary and throwing too many kicks, right? Like, and that's what Alaqraa is he's like, he's consistently been a really great wrestler, and you have to be able to stop that in order to beat him. And I just don't see that here for Galal. For me, Alaqraa, 2 big things that work in his favor going into this fight, or really any fight for that matter. The first one is just that he has like a lot of forward pressure. And that forward pressure is not necessarily there to box, because he's not even really all that great of a boxer, but he like draws out reactions with feints, and he gets close enough to you that has you on your heels and worried. And then he uses that to wrestle. And as good as his pressure is on the feet, his pressure on the ground is 20 times better. Like once he has you down, he gives you no space. He's a ground and pound first guy over a submission guy, but like he's a position over everything guy. So like he is going to make sure he has a solidly locked up half guard before he hits you with 7 elbows. And then he's going to get you right back where he wants you, held down in a position where you're not going to move. So for me, yeah, it's a lock right here. I think the grappling is just way too much for Galal. And, Galal just lost to a guy who's not even as good as Alaqraa, even with all the steroids coursing through his veins. So I'll take Alaqraa in this one.
Alaqraa does not sound like fun fighting. The way you described his
he's like right in your face. But like, I think we talked about it in the PFL Europe episode. There's like a lot of potential in this PFL MENA. And, I know I just picked 5 straight favorites, but all of those underdogs have like fun qualities in it. And that's again why I said PFL Europe has like a higher ceiling for like a couple of their guys, but also like a way lower floor. Whereas like all of these guys, like if you really tried to convince me that some of these guys could pull off upsets, it might get me there, but that's just because I like actually believe all these guys are pretty damn good.
People are going to try, guaranteed. In the YouTube comments, in the Discord, people are going to.
Maybe people like this one. People usually get pissed when I pick too many dogs,
which is silly because he wins. All right, here's who he has. All the favorite. Well, he's assuming these are going to be favorites. You never know. Wackier things have happened. Alaqraa, Mohammadseifi, Reda, Benkaci, and Diani. All right, lightning round. Zap, bam, boom, pow. Do you think you have any dogs here or not?
Yeah, so basically what I did in the lightning round was I went to look for who would be underdogs that I could possibly get behind, because it left a bad taste in my mouth picking 5 guys I was pretty sure are going to be favorites. So the first one I'm going to take
if you go 5-0, it's not so bad.
Yeah, right? 5-0, I might clear $80 on $100.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Asem Ghanem. He's
awesome.
5-0. Real great pressure wrestler. I mean, just like overall athlete, which I really like about him. And he's going to be fighting Gamori, the one who just got let go from the UFC. So like, 5-0, real athletic kind of guy. I think there could be a potential he comes in as a decent underdog, and like Gamori being a former UFC fighter, is going to give him prestige that maybe he doesn't deserve because he didn't look all that great in the UFC. So I like Ghanem. And then the other one I like is Izzadine Al-Durbani. He's a Palestinian fighter who hasn't had really great results lately, but he has fought like super tough competition. And I've really been impressed with, just how like good he can look in moments in those fights. And while he hasn't necessarily put it all together in some of them recently, I would not be surprised if he does here. So that's Al-Durbani and Ghanem. And I think both of them should be underdogs there.
All right. Very good. You've got lots and lots of picks now for PFL MENA. You can hit us up in the Discord, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. You can hit us up in the comments on YouTube, MMA Gambling Podcast. Thanks, everyone, for continuing to watch and subscribe there. Twitter is SGPN MMA. He's at Gummy Vreeland. I'm at Jeff Fox Writer. Same is on Instagram, at Jeff Fox Writer for me. Get into my Substack, moneymma.substack.com. You can enter my free UFC at Pick'em contest. Free subscription will get you in. And I got a contest up and running for UFC at Perth. So moneymma.substack.com. Gummy's got a Top Turtle MMA podcast that I'm not on. He's interviewing people. I think he may have some UFC Perth people on it this week, actually.
Yeah, I got a pair of Aussie fighters. We got Jonathan McAuliffe, who is looking to go 2-0 in the UFC. And then Colby Thickness, who's getting his second fight as well.
All right, check out Top Turtle wherever you get your podcast. And we're at sportsgamblingpodcast.com, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon. We'll be back tomorrow. We're not done with the regional stuff. We got LFA 218 going down, at least tomorrow in our world. It's going down this coming weekend. Until then, the Maestro Jeff Fox bids you farewell. The American Zombie Gummy Vreeland will be back tomorrow. Bye-bye.